We purchased a property that has been vacant for more than 30 years, consisting of the house and garden areas, some traditional stone outbuildings, and 2 fields.
Before we moved in, we had plans to tidy up the messy gardens for our own use, to clear out, maybe even renovate, the outbuildings, and to reforest the 2 fields. But since we got here and started observing the existing flora and fauna, our plans have changed. We've got swallows catching insects over the back field and feeding their young perched on the overhead power lines. We've got bats flying through the barn and resting in the rafters. The overgrown area, including a self-seeded willow that was disturbed when the trench was dug, has been left alone to recover. This area in particular has become a haven for songbirds. The usual crowd includes blue tits and great tits, robins and dunnocks, chaffinches and bullfinches, and dozens of sparrows. We've also spotted goldfinches, wrens, house martins, a linnet, goldcrests, and lots of dragonflies, as well as the occasional mouse.
The gardens themselves are wildly overgrown, with wild being the operative word. A huge range of native species has popped up, from the usual buttercups and dandelions, edibles like brambles and wild strawberries, to orchids, woundwort, self-heal, red clover, spleenwort, mustard green, and willow herb. We've had flowers of all shapes and sizes and colours, and with them various invertebrates, bees, butterflies, hoverflies, cinnabar moth caterpillars, and who knows what else. Even the outbuildings have been reclaimed, with ivy and brambles growing through them, to the tentacle-like spleenwort on the walls themselves.
With so much life here, we've decided to leave the gardens to take care of themselves, as far as is possible, and we're only doing a minimal amount of clearing of the pathways around the house itself. We're trying to follow the principles of Mary Reynolds, whose book, We Are the Ark, outlines the steps people can take to give land back to nature. An ark is an act of restorative kindness, and it's a way of restoring nature. In our case, nature has been restoring the garden perfectly well over the last 30 years, allowing native plants and animals to thrive, and we intend to let that continue. The garden and outbuildings will therefore be left to Mother Nature to manage.
We still plan on reforesting one of the fields with native trees. But the other contains a ring fort, also known as a fairy fort. Ring forts are the remains of ancient settlements, a common feature here in Ireland. Most are between Iron Age and medieval, with some sites dating as far back as the Bronze Age. There's a huge amount of folklore around the fairy forts, and it's believed to be bad luck to disturb them.
We want to respect this tradition, and the fairy fort will remain untouched. We haven't even set foot inside the boundary, and we're not going to. It serves as a reminder that there are still some places in the world that are not for humans to tread, and it symbolises our connection to the spirit world and to those that have gone before us. Keeping the fort sacred also reminds us that although we bought the land, we don't really own it. We're just custodians, hoping to preserve and protect it for future generations. The field around the fort will probably be maintained as grassland, although we do plan to restore and improve the surrounding hedgerows. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Obviously this is just the start of our journey, so please let us know in the comments what sort of videos you'd like us to make, and which bits of the project you're most interested in, the house, the land, or anything else that you'd like to see more of.
Finally, we'd like to say a huge thank you to those who have supported us. This is a huge project, and we appreciate all the help we've received. See you next time.